And
Hmm.
it's I believe in karma. I also believe in the principle of reciprocity. If you start by giving, you will always receive after a while. And that's also one of the key of the principles that I'm teaching in my program is every time you're looking for a job, I'm teaching them to create value, share value, don't expect anything in return, just do it genuinely. And after a while, these people will feel like they will owe you something, and naturally more job opportunities are coming their ways.
Welcome to Career Coaching Secrets, the podcast where we talk with successful career coaches on how they built their success and the hard lessons they learned along the way. My name is Davis Wynn, and I'm the founder of Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to $100,000 years, $100,000 months, and even $100,000 weeks. Before Purple Circle, I've grown several 7- and 8-figure career coaching businesses myself, and have been a consultant at 2 career coaching businesses that are doing over $100 million each. Whether you're an established coach or building your practice for the first time, you'll discover the secrets to elevating your coaching business.
Welcome to the Career Coaching Secrets Podcast. I'm Kevin, and today we are joined by Frederic Bonifassy. Hopefully, I did not butcher your name. He is the founder of Talent FB. He's a career coach. Welcome to the show, Fred.
Thank you so much for the invite. Really appreciate to be here.
Yeah, before the podcast, we were just talking about our love for Hormozy, our love for school, our love for probably Sam Ovens, and so many commonalities. But I'm so curious about the beginning, the origin story of how you got started in this field. Tell me the lore, and what was the moment that you decided that this was kind of like, I don't want to say life calling, but something that you wanted to create a business out of.
Yeah, yeah. So quite interesting story. I'm still amazed of what I've done so far. But basically, when I arrived in Singapore, I didn't know that I was going to start my career as a recruiter or slash talent acquisition. Basically, it's like this industry chose me in a way. It was really, really hard at the beginning. I moved from Morocco to Asia, and I didn't have any job. I didn't have any friends, no family, nobody that I could rely on. So it was really hard. First year of adaptation, it took a toll on me basically, and I didn't know how to sell myself, how to market myself, and I didn't know how to get a job. And I met a couple of people, and one person in particular really helped me. She redid my CV. She told me that the LinkedIn profile is very, very important here. She gave me a lot of tips on the local adaptations and stuff. And step by step, I managed to get some interviews. I managed to get in Singapore. And thanks to her, for the story, this person became my wife a couple of years back after that. So
Plot
yeah,
twist.
I was super blessed to see that she really invested in the right person for her and for me. So I never had any experience as a recruiter before, so I did a couple of mistakes. I was on the job market again as a job seeker, and then I was hired again as a recruiter, and then back and forth for the past 15 years. In terms of time and duration, I think I've been almost at the same time as a job seeker as a recruiter in the past 15 years, meaning that I've been on both sides of the spectrum and I know exactly what it is to look for a job and to be in a insecure situation where as a foreigner you have the work visa clock. If you don't secure a job, then after 30 days you're out of Singapore, and it's game over.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
it's very hard, and the places in Singapore are very hot and in high demand. So you have to do your best, to get a job as soon as possible. And all these 15 years, building my experience on both sides of the spectrum, being specialized in tech, I realized that there's so much more than just you look for a job, you update your CV, you apply for a job, and then you go back home and you pray. And every morning you wait for your inbox to have an email and say, "Hey, we would love to invite you for an interview." There are so many other creative and innovative way of doing that. And as a recruiter, I always felt a bit frustrations when the candidates were not that creative, and they were just stopping after my emails and sent by me or by my company saying thanks but no thanks. And
Mm,
when I was behind the scene, I felt like there's so much that can be done. And what happened in 2023, I got laid off by a company out of the blue without any notice, nothing at all. I just got a meeting with my boss, and he said, "Hey, Fred, thanks for what you've done so far, but we don't need you. We don't need your service anymore." So I was in shock. And, it got me thinking. I was like, since I have these 15 years of experience, back then it was 13, I'm sure I can do something to avoid being in this stressful situation. And I can try to package all my knowledge and all my skills into something that can be beneficial for a lot of people, not just for me, but around me. So I started to ask my friends and my family, friend of friends, if they wanted me to look at their CV and maybe to rebrand their LinkedIn, maybe to write their cover letter, etc. And I saw that it helped them a lot to get a job so fast, and even faster than me. While I was looking for a job, I was also helping them to look for a job as well. And it was faster for them than it was for me. So I realized that okay, maybe I'll try to think if I can start building something from scratch. And when I did a bit of research and I look at the career coaching path, I felt like okay, I think this is my calling and this is where I need to start. And that was the birth of Talent FB.
Now, what a wonderful story. Everything from your wife to using your recruiting experience to like optimize people's profiles and stuff. I love that. But as I'm looking at your LinkedIn page, I mean, you can't help but I see AI everywhere, right? And so how does the whole AI aspect angle come into the play?
Sure. So look, everybody's talking about AI. Everybody has different perception about AI. But the thing is, even if you agree or not, if you like or not, if you don't embrace the wave of AI, you are missing a huge opportunity right now and for the future. And people who are not using AI for their job search, they're losing a competitive advantage. Everybody now is using ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Gemini for a lot of things, but they really don't use AI the right way, I think. So what I have done is, so I've created my own AI custom agent. Her name is Gaia GPT, and I've trained her for more than 10,000 hours of content, and she is the best. She's even better than me, of course. She's the best coach for technology and all my program, etc. So I was asking her, and I spent days after days, and just to question her, saying everybody's using AI, but basically nobody is using AI the proper way, the right way of generating opportunities. And I want to find a way to make my career program to leverage AI in a way that it's more like an enhancement. So it's not just AI who do all the job for you. It's really AI who's going to help you stand out from the crowd and giving you the best job opportunity, but still being you as a human. So it's like you're transforming yourself a little bit like a cyborg. It's a half robot and half human, basically.
It's like the Neuralink without the surgery, I guess,
Kind
so
of.
far.
Kind of, yeah. So the Neuralink here in this example is Gaia GPT, and every new member who embark in my school program, they have access to her, and they say hi and let's start, and she's already drafting the whole strategy for them, 100% customized. But basically, what I mean here is that I've built a program with 5 parts where there's AI at each of these parts, and making you asking the right question and giving a selection of a few AI tools and platforms to really get the best of your story, to really rebrand your CV, to be trained as well for, when you go for a job interview, and to get all the data points to make sure that you negotiate the best salary as you can. So it's a mix of research, it's a mix of career clarity. And yeah, I think AI is everywhere in my program, but I feel like if a job seeker is not using AI today, I think it's a huge loss for them.
Yeah. Speaking about business, by the way, let's kind of talk about your business too, the business side for a second. How, like, obviously you went on your own, right? And so in order to have a business, you have to have leads. Let's talk about marketing. So how do people usually find you, I guess, if they want to work with you in some capacity?
Okay, so at the moment, I've been quite lucky because I've only activated one platform, like fully 100% optimized, is LinkedIn. Most people find me from there. I've been using LinkedIn for many, many years, but only since I became a career coach, I realized that I was not using the platform at 100% of its capacity. So I've got some help from different freelancers to really optimize each part of my profile. And from there, everything I was creating, all the content, etc., skyrocketed in terms of reach, in terms of visibility, in terms of number of engagement, etc. And on top of that, word of mouth and referrals. For example, a few of my colleagues were in a situation where they were struggling and looking for a job. Some of them, they were just looking at building a personal brand. Some of them were considering starting a business from scratch. All these people resonated with my personal story that I was sharing on LinkedIn, and they all resonated with something kind of different. So it's very weird, but every week I have someone saying, "Hey, I saw that you build career your talent FB business. I'm very curious about it. I would love to hear your story. Why don't we take a coffee and we discuss about that?" Sure, no problem. I'm super happy to share my story. Another person say, "Hey, I'm not looking for a job, but what you've done so far with your LinkedIn is great. I'd like to have the same. Can you please tell me your secret?" Sure, no problem. I'm here to share anything for free. No problem at all. And then obviously you have you have all the usual suspects of people who need some help on the CV. So I usually like to do a free 30 minutes CV review where I give a lot of pointers. I'm not turning around the bush. Before this, we started this episode. I told you I'm French. I like to be very straightforward. I like to be direct. So when a CV is shit, I just tell them that your CV is shit. And as a recruiter, I've been reviewing so many CVs, and after 5 seconds, 6 seconds, when you double click on the document and you see the PDF popping up and you have like colors, bold and italic and underlines and logos everywhere, you feel like, oh man, that's such a mess. I just don't want to look at this document and go next. And I'm not the only one. There are thousands of recruiters who are doing exactly the same thing. So yeah, the LinkedIn basically it's where people can find me. I'm very active there. I'm posting almost every day. I'm engaging almost every day.
Now, have you tried other types of marketing too? Have you experimented as well?
It's
Other
on
than
my
content?
it's on my list. I want to start doing more email marketing for cold approach. I also want to start my own podcast and my own episode. Where I speak about myself, my story, and I will invite some of the people that I have helped and they actually transform their career thanks to my advice and my program. So I really want to hear from them. How was it to work with me, and what was the shift between before and after? So that's probably going to be a good one. And why not a YouTube video channel as well? I will see, but I'm not in a rush at the moment. LinkedIn is doing a great job giving me enough visibility, and I don't want to go too fast as well. I just want to make sure that I deliver quality, I change people's life, I'm being present and available for as many people as I can, basically, because I'm a one-man show. So obviously, if I want to go fast, if I want to scale, I will have much less time, and I will need to recruit more. But I don't think I'm at that stage at the moment.
Yeah. And one thing I really like about your story too, it's like you are very open to a lot of experimentation. You're telling me that like, hey, I did free 30-minute CV reviews or coffee or whatever, right? And so I'm kind of curious, like, can you tell me the journey about how you discovered your main sources of revenue to your coaching business right now? It sounds like you have a school community. You probably have some other containers and stuff. What kind of things do you have for your business right now?
Sure. So talking about the offer, I really wanted to offer something unique in the market. So when I decided to embark on this journey, I really look at what are the other offerings, especially in Asia. Obviously, like everybody else, I took a lot of inspirations from the big guys in Europe and in US, and I wanted to do
Yes.
something tailor-made. But I realized that in Singapore, most of the career coaches, they are from psychological and HR background. They don't necessarily come from a pure on the ground operational strategic and tactical recruitment experience like myself. So I really thought it was a very big USP for me to build my offer out of that, for them to feel like I've been a job seeker, but I've been a recruiter. I've been the one hiring. I've been the one, deciding on who to choose for an offer at the end of the funnel, and always being very creative and innovative in my approach where I see things going in terms of recruitment and talent acquisition. All of that helped me to have a very unique and attractive offer today in the market. So I have three different plans. The first plan is it's just done by, it's called Done by You. Basically, it's an online course. It's a master class with close to 15 hours of video course, video on demand. It's on a school platform. There's a lot of information. They have access to the document library. They have access to Gaia GPT. They will have access to the school community for life, basically, so they can join the weekly coaching course on a weekly basis all the time they want. Then after that, and I also offer 2 hours of coaching one-on-one with me as well in this package for the plan number one. Plan number two is the AI Job Search Accelerator Program. This is the bestseller. This is where most of the people, actually at the moment, I have 30 members in my community. So again, I'm starting slow and small, but I just want to make sure that I spend enough quality time with each of them. So this plan two is really the full suite but still on a coaching base where I make the team members to interact with each other. For example, when there are some members who are having interviews, I'm asking openly to the community if there are other people who wants to do a role play. And then one of them is actually doing the scenario and they're going to play the role of a recruiter or a hiring manager for the person who's going to go for the interview to put them into a situation. Then we record the call, they do the 1 hour or the 40 minutes interview, and then after that, I analyze the interview with them and there's some kind of Q&A and feedback session. Super valuable, people love it usually. So that's for the plan number two. And obviously every week there are one-on-one coaching with me privately, but also group coaching sessions with the rest of the members where they update each other, they support each other, and it's more in terms of mindset. You know that you're not searching alone, basically. It's great to see that other people are in the same situation as you and they do things that are working and they share that as well on the weekly. And that's great. People love this feeling. The last plan is very interesting because I've been recruiting recruiters around the region, for my career, especially from Philippines and from India. I've been hiring in my team, in my past companies, a lot of very, very good talent people. And what I've done recently is I've asked them if they are okay to work with me on a part-time basis whenever I have people who are choosing the plan number 3 in my coaching program. So this is the VIP concierge offer where the job seeker doesn't have to do anything. We do everything for them. So it's an all-in solution where they just tell us which work environment they want to go, what type of job they want to go, what salary range, and I think that's probably it. And then we start with a full career clarity for them. We do the groundwork, meaning that on a spreadsheet, we actually put down a lot of company names based on 3 tiers of priority, tier number 1, number 2, and number 3. And then from there, we do all the work. We understand what were their challenges, what are the current objectives of this company. And from there, we build a deck, a presentation that get the USP, the unique selling point of this of the senior professional that we are representing. And we go straight away to the hiring manager. We squeeze totally the HR and the recruiter. We send an email because we found a direct email address as well online. And then we put a nice message saying, hey, I understand exactly your situation. So we actually write the email also for them. So we also manage their LinkedIn profile on their behalf as well. So either they give us the logins or we tell them exactly what they need to do. And every day they log in on LinkedIn and they just copy and paste whatever we have created for them. But basically, the outreach message is very powerful. Is, hey, company, I understand exactly where you guys are at. I know the challenges you faced last year. And by the way, I've created a document that answers exactly this problem you guys are facing right now. Would you be okay if I send that to you right now? And would you be interested in jumping in a quick call and I can share more of these tips for you? We have a 65% of success rate for this email outbound. So it's actually really powerful and most of the time, like, I don't know the ratio, but never mind. So it's great because we do have a lot of positive responses from there. The only thing we ask the senior professionals is actually to go for the interviews. And every week we have a reporting session where we tell them exactly what companies have we targeted for them, if there are any jobs or not, the type of deck and value proposition we have created, etc. So it's like a full suite for them. And so far, I have got 3 clients who onboarded in this program. 100% success. They all found a job before 90 days.
Wow. Dude, someone read $100 million offers, man. I was like, as you were breaking it like down, I was like, oh, what about this? But you really thought it through. That's awesome, man.
Thanks.
Okay. And so it sounds like you got your offer stacked down. And it sounds like with your highest ticket offer, you're actually like, people are actually getting results. So I'm very curious from your end. I think off podcast, we were talking about like you want to scale. And so I'm kind of curious, where do you want this coaching business to take you in the next few years?
Yeah, this is probably the question that makes me waking up every morning. You know, when I see the smile on the face of my kids. By the way, I have two boys, and every time one of my son is asking me, "Papa, can you buy me this? Can you buy me that?" Every time I'm telling him, you know, now that I'm a solopreneur, and so thankfully my wife is still working, but now since I'm starting, this solopreneur. I still don't have the same salary as I used to have in corporate before. So I'm starting quite low, but every time my son is approaching me and he wants to buy something, I need to remind myself that I need to work like super, super hard to make sure, first of all, first objective is to catch up with my previous salary before. And second of all is actually to double it. And I put this objective by the end of this year, by Christmas, basically. So if I put some number here, the middle price of my plan is 3.5K USD. The highest ticket is 7K. If I get a mix of these two, I really want to have probably between 4 to 5 clients
At a consecutive time.
Yeah, exactly. 4 to 5 clients on a monthly basis in about 6 months from now. That will be an ideal scenario for me. And by next year, obviously, since I'm going to invest more and more on the lead generation, paid ads, I haven't touched anything about paid ad as well. So I'm sure that as soon as I will start from there, I will probably get even more demands that I can offer. So I just don't want to go too fast. And again, just making sure that I'm going to put enough quality to deliver results.
Yeah. And I guess as you're thinking about scaling and as you're running your current offerings, what's kind of like the biggest challenges that you're seeing in your coaching business right now?
So there are lots, basically. I would say the first one is people don't really realize that the job search market has changed so much since the past 7-8 years. But somehow, job seekers are still using the same job search techniques that they like always existed, like from 2000, 2010, meaning you just, you get ready to look for a job. You are still working or you are out of work, but basically in their brain is like they're getting ready. They want to start by the CV first. They want to update the CV. But that's a big mistake. To me, I feel like before updating your CV, you need to understand exactly what you want to do for your career. For some people, it's very easy. They've always been in the bank, so they just want to continue working in the bank. But for a lot of people today, because of this changing of environment, because of AI that is reshuffling a lot of industry, people are questioning themselves a bit more and they need to get the clarity layer first before jumping into updating their CV. Because if they do update their CV and then after that, after 2 or 3 months, they feel like, oh man, I don't want to do marketing anymore. I don't know why I'm getting so stubborn about it. But now I want to be more product facing or more sales facing as well. So that's one of the challenge that I face is really to make them opening the mind about the type of the process and the system that they need to adopt first when they're getting ready. Then the second one is probably the mindset. A lot of people are in a negative mindset or they are in a closed mindset where they think that they've tried everything and nothing else can work. So they reach out to me and they say, hey, Fred, I'd like to talk to you, but I don't know if you can really help me because, I've tried everything I could and nothing is working. So don't think you're a magician. You don't have any magical wand, right? So yes, that's true. But there's so much that they have not explored that every time I finish my call with them, they feel like, wow, it's so refreshing to see and to hear someone thinking like that and being creative and really putting some kind of innovation in. Basically, what I do is I give them so much energy that they actually are happy to go back to the job hunt. Another one is a lot of people think that AI is everywhere. So they say that, oh yeah, if I don't put my CV, the correct keywords, I'm going to be rejected by AI. So everybody is just thinking AI do this, AI do that for me. And they don't really realize, they don't understand exactly what's happening behind the scenes. So I do a bit of awareness and a bit of education as well to tell them that the ATS are not the bad guy. They are not the police and they are not driven by AI. They are just a bunch of knockoff questions that if you as an applicant, you don't answer correctly, you don't put the answers that a company is looking for, you're going to get a nice rejection email afterwards. But it's not AI who's rejecting you. So it doesn't matter if your CV is being made this way or another way. So a bunch of challenges like that. So now that I'm talking to you, I realize that everything is about the mindset and how they think. So it's very important for me that every day when I communicate on LinkedIn and I create content, I want to make sure to give a lot of content based on education, awareness, and open-mindedness of all the possibilities that these guys can do. And I give a lot of free link magnets, a lot of articles. Every time someone is approaching me, I've always offer free review for a CV or for LinkedIn or any free tips. So, and every time I'm telling them, look, I'm giving you exactly the strategy that you need to follow. But if you don't know how to do it by yourself, reach out to me and we can do it together on my program. And this is how I make them accountable for results, because it's a win-win. If they win, I win. It's the start of my business. I need them to be successful and find a job, so then there will be another successful testimonials and successful reviews that I can put on my website.
Man, that's quite a bit, and it sounds like you got some good content ideas going forward on LinkedIn. Probably after this podcast
For
too.
sure, yeah. There's a few ideas popping up in my mind already.
Yeah, let's play a game now. This game is called Good Investment, Bad Investment. So I always run this series because I'm so curious about like, hey, what's the best thing you spent on your coaching business, and what's the worst thing that you wish you got your money back? So tell me, what's your best investment and worst investment on your coaching
Okay.
business?
So I'm gonna start by the best investments. I know it's gonna be a bit mushy, like some type of answers that everybody gives, but it's true that I have invested in myself two times. The first time is for an international accreditation. It was the ICF. I followed this coaching program. By the way, it's called Coachology, and they are based in out of Bangkok. So I followed this program for a couple of hours, and I realized really the full potential of what it means to coach people and what is really coaching. So it was a long and kind of intensive program where I had to coach a lot of people, more than 100 of hours, coaching people, listening to them, asking the right question. It was really tough at the beginning because as a recruiter, I love to talk. I love to give advices. I love to, almost as a consultant, what I do is I listen, and then after I give you a roadmap of what you need to do. But the coaching is almost the opposite. So you listen more, you just ask questions, you interact, and you nod and you show that you are active listening to the person in front of you. But eventually you want them to find their own answers and them to ask them the right questions as well moving forward. So you just hear as a guide, but you don't provide the answers. So it was very tough at the beginning because I knew the answers for them, and it was burning my lips. I'm like, no, you need to do this, you need to do that, and zip my mouth. So no, at the beginning, yeah. So this investment in myself for to really learn how to become a real good coach was, I think, really really good. The second very good investment is with Matt. He's the founder of a seven-figure creator. It's a LinkedIn accelerator coaching startup.
Yes.
Yeah, he's based in Australia, and he also has a school community, and I've been very inspired by him as well. Amazing guy, a lot of very, very good content. And I'm still in this
What's his last name?
Lakiev, Matt Lakiev. I
Okay,
can
I
share
think
with
I've
you
heard of
more
him.
information after this call if you want.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Great program, and I learned so much. So I learned how to create an offer. I learned how to use LinkedIn. I learned how to become, a trusted person where someone, when they read my content, they relate with what I do, with who I am, and basically I become a figure of authority. And with all these layers in terms of marketing, from For the first person who don't know me, they start at the cold approach where they don't even know who I am, but then they read the comment for the first time. They said, okay, that's interesting, but I don't know who's Fred. And then consistently, they go down to the funnel and they become more warm and they get used to what I say and what I write and the type of help I provide usually. And then after they become hot, where they are ready to get a call, to jump on a call with me, and because they realize that I'm the best person to help them. So Matt taught me on all these tips that how you need to structure your approach in terms of branding, and especially using LinkedIn. So again, an incredible investment. So these two, coaching for me as an official coach, and LinkedIn for the program and for the offer.
Curious. You don't have to share if you don't want, but what's the worst investment that you've had as well?
Sure. So it's not exactly an investment. I would maybe qualify them more as an expense or as a cost. I've made this mistake to go too often to the freelancer routes with Upwork and freelancers and Fiverr. Obviously, you do have some gems over there, but honestly, the people that I've chosen, and maybe that's me as a recruiter, is actually looking bad on me, but should have recruited my freelancer a bit better. I've got a lot of issues with some of them, and I felt like after spending 5 6 months using them for doing something, I realized that I could have learned myself. I could have just spent a couple of hours and just trained myself on doing these things. But it's just easy, at the beginning when I have a little bit of money and they say, oh, I'm just going to cost this. I feel like, okay, I will delegate that. And I trust them because, they review the testimonials and stuff. And I feel like, okay, great investment because I pay not much and I'm expecting a quality work. But then when they deliver and when I review the quality, I'm always disappointed. That's the part that was a bit ugly for the first 2 3 years of my business.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that old Bulgarian saying I heard, like, I can't afford cheap or whatever, something like that. So yeah,
Okay.
interesting.
It's a great
Cool.
lesson. I hope that.
Yeah.
I mean, every of these lessons is actually great for us to move forward and to become better at what we do, right? So I think it's part of the journey as well. So I'm glad that I've made these small mistakes right now.
Well, even as you're sharing this, I'm sure a lot of the audience who is listening to this can actually really relate to it because they're probably, who knows, there could be someone who's like thinking, oh yeah, this guy on Fiverr has a lot of reviews and stuff, and they're only like, well, nothing's $5 anymore. Maybe they're $10 now, right? And they're like, oh, I'm about to buy, but then they don't realize most of those
Yeah.
reviews can be faked and stuff like that too. So yeah. Speaking about your experience too, I do have one last question.
Sure.
If you were to start over tomorrow with 0 followers, 0 clients, and your business, knock on wood, goes under, but you still have all the knowledge that you have now, what would you do in your first 90 days to rebuild your coaching business?
Ooh, that's tough. But at the same time, I know I've done a lot of stuff so far, but I only started my business in 2023, so it's not that far off. And I still remember the young days where I had almost nothing. I had to redo my website for 5 or 6 times, I think. Even now, I'm still updating my website on a monthly basis. But basically, what I would do is I will do the same. I will definitely invest in myself, another coaching certification for sure, and I will try to look at what are the best coach that I can follow. Maybe any mentorship program that I could think of. That would be a good start. Then after that, I think I will invest a lot on LinkedIn because I know LinkedIn, that's where 99% of my leads of clients actually are coming from there. There's no other professional network like LinkedIn today. I think I would probably read a bit more, like self-enhancement books, and follow a little bit some of these big influencers like Alex and Mozi and all these guys who've been really good at what they do. At the beginning, I think as a career coach, when I started the first month, I didn't want to believe some of these because my mindset was not as strong as today, and When you keep hearing them saying, "Oh, I'm a millionaire and I'm doing that amount of money a month," and then for me it was so out of reach. But now I realize that with a high ticket and with a great funnel and with a good marketing strategy, it's not impossible anymore. And I know I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna be there in the next couple of years. It's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of if. It's just a matter of
If.
when.
When, yeah. Cool. Last question. How can people find you and connect with you, Fred?
Very easy on my LinkedIn profile. I think I'm very I
Pretty
also have my
obvious.
website. It's called www.talentfb.net. Very important, .net at the end. I also host a couple of workshops, and there's actually my webinar as well on the website. And but basically, yeah, I think LinkedIn is the best way to reach out to me. And if you need any help, reviewing your CV, maybe preparing yourself, getting a more positive mindset, and even if it's not looking for a job, but starting a new business or doing a bit of rebranding on LinkedIn as well. Super happy to share my knowledge and to help.
Final thoughts before we close out the podcast, Frederic. One thing I like about you a lot is like you're very, very generous. I know I didn't say it throughout the podcast, but in my mind, I'm like, guy is like helping people with their free CVs and all that sort of stuff. And it's clear that to me that you really think about the clients that you do have, just the way you structure your offers, especially that last tier. I'm like, oh my God, that's like a dream type of thing there. So I just wanted to let you know that just outside looking in and stuff. So yeah, thank you for coming on to the podcast, Frederic.
Yeah, no worries at all. And what you just mentioned is something that I've applied in my life as well. A lot of
Mm.
people in my life gave me so many things, and I was really privileged. So I feel like today I owe a lot, to people. And if I cannot give back to the people who gave me something at the beginning of my life, I want to do it right now to anybody else who needs a bit of help, and a bit of kicker, a bit of push, some pointers. And
Mm.
it's I believe in karma. I also believe in the principle of reciprocity. If you start by giving, you will always receive after a while. And that's also one of the key of the principles that I'm teaching in my program is every time you're looking for a job, I'm teaching them to create value, share value, don't expect anything in return, just do it genuinely. And after a while, these people will feel like they will owe you something, and naturally more job opportunities are coming their ways. So that's a principle of life that I love to follow.
I love it, man. There's so much more I could talk about this, but I think I'm
Sure.
going to give the listeners a break. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll do it on part 2 or something. Thank you for coming on, Frederic. I really appreciate you.
it was a pleasure. Thank you so much as well for the invitation, Kevin.
That's it for this episode of Career Coaching Secrets. If you enjoyed this conversation, you can subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening to this episode to catch future episodes. This podcast was brought to you by Purple Circle, where we help career coaches scale their business to $100,000 years, $100,000 months, or even $100,000 weeks, all without burning out and making sure that you're making the impact and having the life that you want. To learn more about our community and how we can help you, visit joinpurplecircle.com.